everyone, and welcome to BIZBoost Talks. I am your host, Tammy Reese. I'm the owner of Visionary Minds, Public Relations and Media, and the publisher of BIZBoost Magazine. I would love to give a shout out to our CEO, Mahad Imran, and say hello to our special guest today, Dr. Norma McLauchlin. Hi, Dr. Norma. Happy Monday.
Hello. Happy Monday to you and all.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month. I have to start by asking, how are you feeling today?
Well, today I'm doing pretty good, although I was a little stressed a few minutes ago trying to get ready for this broadcast. And we know that the great reason for a lot of mental health is stress. So I had to stop and take a few deep breaths to prepare myself and calm down.
That's right. Tell us what you've been up to lately with Chosen Pen Publishing. I know you had some events coming up.
Well, I will tell you, Chosen Pen Publishing has really been off the chain this month and even leading up to this month. And we'll be doing some things between now and September, all the way through, I think we're scheduled through February. But right now, our biggest focus is on forgiveness. And that forgiveness includes forgiveness. And this month, we're looking at forgiveness and mental health. Then we'll be looking at forgiveness and physical health, forgiveness and relational health, and of course forgiveness and spiritual health. And we're looking at all of those things in order to make sure that we can provide a lifestyle of forgiveness for ourselves, and therefore that we will be in better health all around.
I love that you're touching on the forgiveness topic, because everyone has a different life experience or a different person or environment or situation that they need to consider forgiveness or steps that leads onto the path of forgiveness. And also we have to have grace with ourselves and forgive ourselves. What is it that what resources do you provide, and what topics do you talk on to people to have them forgive themselves and others?
Well, the first thing we talk about, of course, is that forgiveness is a command from God, that we have no other choice but to forgive. Unfortunately, we don't all abide by that when we are down in our bitterness, or we have become in a state.
Stubborn.
Right. We're in that state that we are unable to move, and we don't realize that. So several of the things that I do, of course, I'm a forgiveness coach, so I do one-on-one coaching, I do group coaching, and we also do retreats and conferences around forgiveness. And everyone knows that that's my basic topic that I talk about, because I truly believe that without forgiveness, then nothing else is possible, that you stay stuck where you are. Although you may think you're moving forward, you're really not, because your heart isn't free, and there's nothing about you that's free. And when people talk to you, they realize that there's an issue going on, because you usually revert to whatever it is that you are have that bitterness, or the bitterness towards the person, the bitterness towards yourself, your bitterness towards God, or whatever it may be. But that root of bitterness, it still remains there. And so what we do is try to get to that root, or take you to that root. And that's sometimes a long process. We know forgiveness is a process. It doesn't happen overnight for some of us.
Right.
But we do several different types of exercises in our retreats and in our conferences to help you realize who you're bitter towards. That happened to me. It happens to all of us, in order to understand why we do some of the things that we do.
Well, it's definitely beautiful that you do that. And those of faith constantly ask the Lord for forgiveness. So we should forgive others and consider it. And I'm glad that you're such a one to lead that cause. What sparked your passion to advocate for mental health awareness?
Well, basically because in my family, I guess my extended family as well, we experience mental illness. And I think I wrote somewhere that as a child, I knew it was there. Unfortunately, I did not know what it was. Or I was told that our family, they act out. That's the way they act. That's just them being them. So, just leave them alone at that time, or whatever time that it may be. But even as a child, I found myself somewhat being drawn to them, or talking to them, and trying to figure out what is going on with them and why. But I did not fully understand until I became much older and started reading and researching the different types of mental illnesses. And I realized that although we hide our mental illnesses within our families, that mental illness has no respect of family, that every family has some form a mental illness within it. And probably if we talk about, all of us have some form of mental illness at some point in time in our lives, that we have coping skills, or we've learned coping skills how to deal with it. But yes, and doing that, and we talk about mental illness. We have a mental illness group at our church. Well, once we get all back up and running again, we will. But it is a very, very important piece. And we know that forgiveness and the root of forgiveness will usually help you overcome a lot of that, because a lot of the unforgiveness that you do leads to some of the things that you do. Not all, if you're different types of mental illness, but if you're taking drugs or you're into alcohol or whatever, a lot of that comes from you being upset with a parent, or you upset with someone else, and that leads to you trying to compensate for that with some type of something to alleviate that pain. And we know that the pain runs deep with unforgiveness.
That's true. Dr. Norma, do you think that social media or current events, additionally to life tragedies and experiences, plays a role in mental health? And if so, why?
I think, like I say, even like in our community, an African American community, that we have more suicides, we have more things happening in our world as opposed to what we've had in the past. And I don't know if that's coming from seeing other people doing things that they do. But yes, I think that we have more information. We have access to more things and seeing people often realize that they have issues and that they are solving their issues through various ways of doing that. And of course, with the drugs that are out on the street now, we have members of our family, I have friends of our family who are mentally ill for the use of drugs, or bad batch of drugs or whatever. So it led to the mental illnesses, that the schizophrenia and other types of illnesses that they have. So I think, and how they got them, which makes it more prevalent in your neighborhood, if that's the case. If you're seeing it on TV, you're seeing a lot of people that are taking drugs out of the parents' household, and they see that. So I think that if we look at the world as a whole, that the information that we've gathered, or we are gathering in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and our children are seeing a lot more of that. And they're seeing that there are other avenues that they can get out of the bitterness, out of the hate, out of the pain. And I don't think we don't have that extended family. We don't have those grandmothers. We don't have all those people who teach us or taught us how to overcome a lot of the issues that it has been. We could go to grandmama and say, whatever. She would say, okay, babe, it's going to be okay. Let me talk to you about this. We don't usually have those people. And if we don't have them, and we don't have a therapist that, in our communities, we don't believe in them going to the therapist. So if you don't have them, but I also heard on the news the other day that even if you do have them, there are not enough available for all the children around even to have an appointment for 6 months. The waiting list is so
long waiting list.
Yeah, so they're so long. And so I think, yes, the answer to your question is yes. I think today's society has a great amount of pressure that is being put on us, not even us, but our own kids. I think when we're sitting around thinking, you see people committing suicide, you say, well, what led them to that? And then when you start thinking about it, you say, well, those are some of the same issues in my life. Am I contemplating suicide? Would that be a way out for me? Especially during the pandemic, we know so many people were living in aloneness, and there was nothing for them. And if you feel like there's no way out and you're sitting there alone and no one to talk to, then that, of course, leads to those voices talking to you in your head.
I love everything that you said. And also, even rich and famous people have been killing themselves as well during this pandemic. So it definitely can affect any and everyone, no matter how you look, no matter what your title or money you have.
That's right. That's so right. It's say mental illness, as I said, it has no respect of person.
Yeah.
And we don't know, and I think some of the things that we're trying to do is, and we're interviewing therapists on Monday nights, is for them to give you some topics or some type of tips that will help you when you run into those issues.
That's so powerful. Such amazing work that you're doing. Now I understand you be on Clubhouse. Tell me about that. What you be doing on Clubhouse, Norma?
Well, Well, I'm on Clubhouse with another group. My Clubhouse with this group really starts the 1st of June. We were trying to start it early, but my people said, listen, you got us on Monday night. You got us on this night. So we're going to, 1st of June, we will start the first week of June on Wednesday at noon. And we will be talking about some of these same topics of forgiveness and the benefits of forgiveness is basically what we want to talk about on Clubhouse. But I've also I'm on Clubhouse with the publishing group that I belong to that we're on Tuesday nights at 6.
That's amazing. What else you got going on?
What else do I have going on? The main thing I have going on with this forgiveness piece is we're doing a documentary.
Wow.
And the documentary is hopefully be about 45 minutes to an hour. We're doing the interviews that we're doing with a therapist, myself and some other people, and then some people who are talking about their forgiveness process themselves and what they went to forgive. And that documentary we are planning to show on July 29th. It's a Friday evening at a gala, a red carpet celebration of forgiveness.
Yes.
I am so excited about it because I don't know if anyone has ever celebrated their forgiveness. And we know that forgiveness equals freedom. So this is a celebration of freedom. We're calling it Free to Choose Forgiveness. It's a celebration of freedom. And all those people who've gone through the forgiveness process with me, which I used to have when I was having Bible studies, when we were having conferences, when we were having whatever, we're inviting them to come to celebrate that evening with us. We're having a 5-course meal. We're having forgiveness. We're having a mocktail hour.
I love it.
At the beginning. So we're really excited about that. Then we'll also show the documentary and have some other little forgiveness things going on. But we intend for it, as I say, to be just a wonderful red carpet event. Hopefully we have the people who want to come will be just excited. It's a black tie event as well. So as I say, I'm really excited about it.
Elegantly celebrate your forgiveness, right?
Yes.
I love it.
You are free. It's time for you to celebrate.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much, Dr. Norma. Leave us with some words of encouragement on this Motivation Monday to uplift our viewers and those who are going to watch the show later on. Give them some words of encouragement, please. Thank you.
Okay. Well, coming from a person who's experienced the bitterness of forgiveness, I harbored some forgiveness against my brother-in-law for a number of years, not realizing that until the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, you need to stop teaching about forgiveness until you get yourself straight. That it was a generational curse because I caused all the people in my family to also be bitter towards this individual. So that my word to you in saying that is to stop and ask God to tell you who you need to forgive. Close your eyes, say your prayer, think back, ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you who that person is or what that is. And once you have that answer, to go about the process of forgiving. And you don't have to go to that person. You know, forgiveness is about you. It's not about the other people. You don't have to go to them. You can do it, you and God, right there on the spot. And if it's not that difficult for you, you can also write a letter and burn it. This is one of the activities that we do. But get rid of that bitter root and free yourself so that you can live the life that God has promised us here on planet Earth.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Norma. Don't be bitter, y'all. Be free. I love it so much. Be sure to follow Dr. Norma across social media platforms at Chosen Pen Publishing. Be sure to follow BIZBoost across all social media platforms, as well as Visionary Minds. Shout out again to the CEO, Mahad Imran, my business partner. Thank you all for tuning in. We're accepting submissions for BIZBoost magazine. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Monday. Protect your mental health. Self-care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.